All right, what's going on, everybody? Got a nice piece of Flint River today. It has been lightly heated, and I want to do some reducing for you. I know a lot of my videos are start to finish, and it seems like I get more views on shorter videos. So this will be a shorter video, and we're going to work through it. Now, we've got a pretty flat face on this side. You can see where this is where the spall released from a bigger piece. And we've got a good little edge here that we can go ahead and hit and drive flakes here and thin it out as thin as this. So that's what we're going to do. Firstly, going to braid. Pretty heavily there. And I'm going to use a lead-filled copper bopper. And got a good platform right there. All right, drove to about right there. Gonna go ahead and clean up those deltas that we left. Come down this way as we set up this platform here. Okay, drove back. All right, there's our platform here. And got a good plate. Keep that one. And drove to right here. So we'll go ahead and catch this back edge where it met. And if it hinges out, I'm not worried about it because we're going to thin that out either way. All right, look at here. We already got a big ridge to follow. Now, this side is fairly flat, and we've got the ridge, and the ridge kind of circles around because of this flake that was taken. So we got a good ridge, and there's a dip here. There's a dip. We might be able to undercut some of this long edge. So most people will bevel here and then shoot up, or bevel at the tip and shoot this way, which I'll probably end up doing anyways after this strike. But let's see if we can't do some damage here and remove a decent flake. All right, well, we overshot too much. So I over-prepared that side and she wrapped, which is okay. Might make a drill out of that. There's a flake. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do now is probably draw the tip into this side. So this will be the tip rather than this up here. And we'll work from there. Stuff like that happens when you flint knap. You just gotta learn from your mistakes and carry on. So I want this to be my tip. This is just extra. You see, it's kind of just a flatter area there. I want to get rid of that flatness. So there we go. So we're still reducing material, and with that in mind, we've got a big hump back here, which we can tackle a couple of different ways. We've got a good platform to drive here, which I do like. Okay, so this should shoot over to this edge. There we go. So it shot over to the edge. I love how some of the flakes release. There's a little area there. It's pretty cool. Okay, and now you just look for some opportunity strikes. You know I'm gonna need to get rid of this thick area here, and this is our base, so I can flatten out the base and not really lose length in regard to the point. I mean, my base isn't gonna be pointy, my base is gonna be flat, so I might as well flatten it out. So that's what I mean when I'm saying not really losing much. I mean, you're losing some, obviously, but not like you would be losing. Okay, got the flat edge. I'm gonna draw back through here. We'll catch that from the other side. Again, making this back edge flat. Okay. Now, as always, I usually don't know what point I'm gonna make until I'm down to the very end. Kind of the same thing is true here. I don't always know. Get a different buffer. Now this one, notice how this is the angle of this line here. But when I'm shooting a flake up rather than to the side, if I want to shoot a flake that way, I change the angle of my platform to here. So notice when I braided, my platform is headed this way, if that makes sense. It's headed that way. So it juts out right here from the top view. And honestly, you could draw this back and have plenty of room to catch that flake. Okay. Notice the direction it went towards the tip. Okay. Just setting up another platform. This one will be a straighter. Now this is a wide platform. If I want it to go straight and long, then I need to thin this platform out. So it's pretty wide. There we go. That's better. A little bit thinner. All right, see a long flat flake. I still need to catch this back edge here. Got two ways I can do it. That didn't work. Not enough meat on the bone. There's enough meat for that one though. Okay. Pete, get out of there, buddy. All right, let's see. So we can still do some flattening on this side. Got a portion of the tip here that needs cleaning up. Anyways, hopefully this is helpful in some way. You had that flat spot and then this part raised up a little bit. So we're just kind of meeting our flakes. Now we got a chance to kind of do some damage. I'm not gonna have a wide base point So I'm gonna draw it in. And shoot a nice wide flake. Not too wide, but that was kind of what I was looking for. Now again, these secondary platforms that are made when you hit a flake are really weak, but if you hit high, a lot of times it'll still work. My middle finger's on that line there. And it was able to go. This here is really in need of setting up, or really needs to be set up. There we go. So we're drawing our piece in. We still got this area, and I want to go ahead and tackle this funky area. Okay, so I drove back and I followed the ridge. Now we're going to work back up to it. Okay. I think I'm going to still go from the base. I think that's the best way to attack it. Notice the angle I'm hitting these. I'm hitting them pretty much straight down. They get pretty much parallel, or perpendicular, excuse me, with the point. Then I can abrade. And this probably won't follow the ridge. It'll get close to it. It'll follow a little bit of it. Like I said, it'll follow a little bit. And that just gives us more room for this next strike. So this will at least get to right here, I think. Well, it did get to the corner, like I said. Okay. Hit one flake off here. And now we can do it. I like to, well, I don't really have a name for it, but I do 2 sets of flaking. I'll show you what I mean. We got a big hump here, and so I'm not just going to drive in. I mean, you'll break the whole point. So I pretty much just drive kind of 45 degrees. You know, I'm not driving in. They stop about right here. And whenever I'm ready, by the way, there's a big middle portion here. So I'm gonna strike that. Got another platform for later. Same thing there. But anyways, I strike down, and that way I can either hit into here, which I'll probably do, and then come back. So I'm not driving in, I'm just kind of feathering it in a little bit. This one won't go too far. I don't want it to go too far. All right. So, just thinning it down. That's all I wanted to do in this video. Nothing too crazy. We got some thickness on the tip here. And make it into a nice preform biface. That you can really turn into anything you want. Okay. And from there on, you just continue down. We still have this ridge. I'm most likely going to get it from this side once I take flakes into here. So I may give you a quick example, and then I'll call it for this video. So hit back into here. I'm gonna draw my base in. And like I said, I won't get all of it here, but I'll get a little bit of it. Raising it up just slightly, a bit more. Now I'll do the same tactic I did down here, you know, just feather it in over. You know, not trying to drive hard. Just trying to drive your flakes in. Got another decent flake to take here. And really, another one here. And then if you're ever in a pickle and you don't have a way to get to it, you just hit down into it, just like that. Should have abraded there, but. And why I do that is it lessens up the shock whenever you try to go back into it. You know, I would take flakes off into here first. And then as I draw my tip in, which I would do, I just hit that off, and then that won't be a problem anymore. But you can kind of see this edge is already pretty much ready to bevel down and shoot back, meet some of these flakes. You already got a good platform here to drive across the base like that, meet it from the other side. But anyways, there's one way to reduce it, or at least it's how I reduce material. And usually pretty much just go with the flow, whatever the rock gives me. Try to make the most of it. And I'll catch that hinge here in a little bit. I'll do it now and then we'll close. Then we'll end. Just to prove, well, I'll go down a size just to see. Perfect. So, all right, well, this will wrap us up. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll finish this point up. I don't know what it'll be, but hopefully you learned something, and leave me a comment if you want to. I try to answer all my comments. But I'm gonna thin this down, maybe even turn it into a tang knife. I think that'd be pretty cool. But all right, I'll see y'all later. All right, I'm back. I know a lot of y'all are gonna be mad at me I didn't film the whole thing, but I don't know, there are just sometimes you just gotta lock in and focus, and having a camera doolally here can be I don't know, it can be distracting. Well, I worked it down into a preform. This is all direct percussion. And then I used a little bit of pressure on the base just to tidy it up so it didn't look terrible. I switched to these size boppers. This is the smallest. And so I was able to you know, pretty much get these short flakes with this billet. And so we got a nice size. I'm on probably finish this up here in a little bit, and then I'll post a picture here on this video of the finished point, whatever it is. But this is a nice preform. I still got to tidy the edges up, but it's as thin as I want to go. But there we go. All right, we just finished up probably about 30-ish minutes from the last clip. Now, I don't know how to make a dovetail, so I might have got the base wrong. Y'all let me know. I noticed that a lot of them didn't have super sharp tips, so I just kind of brought it to a close there. But some Flint River material. Honestly, think it turned out really well. Fairly thin for all percussion. And honestly, it looks like a Deep South Bowland Plain. So that's probably what I'll type it as. You find these in this Flint River material. So I'm just gonna call it a Bowland Plain. Unbeveled, first stage Bowland, whatever you wanna call it. Kinchafuni. But there you go. Not too bad. Try to get a thumbnail here. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and let me know what you think.